This morning, one of the vans went to pull away and realized that 3 of the young wrestlers weren't there. They tried to call them over and over again. They got no answer. When they finally showed up, their excuse was, "Oh, I thought someone was gonna call us and wake us up." So fuck them. This isn't a daycare. You know, and I'm tired of babysitting these little cunts.
Court cases are usually brought to regulate a lot of the younger guys. You know, most people, it's pretty laid out what's acceptable and not acceptable, even simple things in general population. But in the wrestling community, it's a little tighter, and respect is a very big issue. Being a professional is a very big issue.
There's going to be no court today. I'm the judge, jury, and executioner. They're being sentenced to a mile, which is to be run up top here 5 times around, to be done in less than 10 minutes. If it's not done in less than 10 minutes, they'll do it every day the rest of the week. They're both to buy all 3 of them to buy a dozen beer for the crew and be my personal servant for the evening.
If you do something wrong, we've got like a wrestler's court, and we all discuss it. You have a judge, you have someone who sticks up for you. Basically, if you lose, you have to run a mile. It can be in 5 minutes, it can be in 6 minutes. Right. It just depends how bad the crime is.
3 cunts on this crew. One of them's right there, one of them's right there. Where's that one? We're supposed to be at a certain place at a certain time this morning. I don't give a fuck what the excuses are. You had people looking for you and couldn't find you. You know, I'm getting tired of hearing that you guys have to be fucking babysat all the time. It's not just you 3, but you 3, it was you 3 today. Now, this isn't a fucking daycare center. And you're gonna fucking pay for it starting now. You're lucky this is all you're getting. You're all getting a mile, which is gonna be run upstairs right now, 5 laps around.
All right, boys, get going. What I want to get at here is the last 3 days on this tour, I haven't had a chance to sit back and have fun. And did you see me the last couple nights? I show up 3 hours late because I'm babysitting all these fucking guys. And that's just bullshit, man. I mean, I don't know how I got appointed the job of, coming up here and, oh, where does my bags go? And where am I staying? And what? The answer for all that, from now on, is fuck off.
I knew ahead of time that we were gonna end up buying cases or running miles. So, I mean, to be honest, that was the first mile I've ran in at least a year. So, young guys like us, that mess up, we gotta pay our dues, and that's what you're watching right now.
There's no excuse for miscommunication. I should have looked into it further, you know what I mean? So, everybody else got here, we didn't, so obviously we're in the wrong. I'm not gonna argue that we're right. I mean, hey.
I had called Disco Dave's cell phone, and through him I talked to Scott Savage, and I asked him as soon as he found out what time the boys were leaving to give me a call. Just needless to say, the call never came, and the boys packed up and left without us this morning.
I just assumed, talking to Nick and everything, that everything was worked out and he was just waiting for a call, and I was gonna get one too, and we're just gonna go meet up and go in town, or come to St. John, right? That's not how it happened. We got late and we had to pay for it.
These guys were handed a gift where they could get on a TV program and perform, and for somebody to miss a ride and not show up for that opportunity, how could you take this so lackadaisical, not serious enough, that you're expecting somebody else? You've been given your opportunity. How much more do you need? And then you expect somebody else to call you, to wake you up, to make sure you get to this job on time? There's no other job in the world that calls you and wakes you up in the morning.
We do promos to further our characters. You know, sometimes you can't tell the whole story physically, so you have to grab a microphone and tell people what you feel. St. John, the easiest way to attack St. John is the smell. I mean, St. John is famous for smelling bad. They're a pulp and paper town. And when you walk in, it smells like sulfur, which smells like farts. So I mean, it's easy to, and people are sensitive about it. If they leave St. John, you know, they mention that the city smells, but when they're in their city and you tell them it smells, they don't like it. Moncton went very well. It was a good, lively crowd. We had to get up very early to come to St. John. As a matter of fact, when we were pulling into town, the cowboy was sitting next to me sleeping. I was driving. He woke up and he looked at me and he said, "Is that you?" I said, "What are you talking about?" He says, "The smell." I said, no, we're driving into St. John now. He goes, "Oh, okay, that explains it."
Hey, now that's just not nice.
I'm not here to be nice. I'm here to beat people up. Fortunately, to be honest with you, though, I don't really think that the St. John fans deserve to see me in a title match. I don't think that they have the rich history that you're bragging about.
Yeah.
But the women of St. John have got a rich history of ogling me and hitting on me unmercifully. Okay, thanks.
Hey, you're hot. I like your shoes.
I guess that would be before you open your mouth.
Dude, you're the guy on radio. I'm the guy on TV. There's a reason for that.
Yeah?
You have a face for radio. In St. John, we were approached by a radio DJ who happens to be a paraplegic. And he wanted us to include him in the show, and he works for a radio station that was helping us very much at the time. So we went in and we discussed it with him.
I got thinking how you guys bash people over the head with chairs and stuff, and I was like, well, why not a wheelchair? So there was a couple things you could do. You could just pick it up and hit somebody with it.
What we're gonna do is Mike is gonna knock you out of the chair, and then his tag team partner is gonna sit in your chair and wheel around it and act like a fool.
That's cool. That's good.
All right?
Yep.
That's what we're going to do.
Awesome.
It's the type of thing that can actually make the newspaper, because it's despicable. And what they're going to do to you, they're going to completely degrade you. He'll probably smack you in the face when you're laying on the ground. It's the type of stuff that can actually make the front page of the newspaper.
Most towns that we wrestle in will usually do the newspapers, we'll do the radios, and personally for me, I think it's important to just go out there and just be who I am. Like I said earlier, I'm a nice guy, I'm laid back, and I just go out there and say it like it is. I mean, the value of media, to have the newspapers and the radios, it's so important to us. I mean, this is our way of relaying the message to everybody out there. We're here, this is who we are, this is what we do.
I always had a look in mind when I was a kid. I mean, I was a skinny kid. I was 165 pounds when I was like 17, 18 years old. And short hair, and well, not at 17, but anyway. I started letting my hair grow at the time. But I always had a vision of myself, what I wanted to look like. And it's kind of funny, I got a picture at home that I drew of what I wanted to look like when I, became a wrestler. And I fit that picture perfectly. I was pictured a guy with a long hair, a bit of a beard, the black tights with the stripe on the side. And I followed that, that blueprint, and I ended up becoming exactly what I wanted to be when I was a kid.
You expect a wrestler to look a certain way, whether it be big and powerful, strong, whether it's chiseled physique. Everybody has their niche in the wrestling business, but fat and spongy isn't one of them. If you see Lincoln Steen walking through the mall, nobody's going to come up to him and say, "Hey, are you a wrestler?" Because he doesn't put the time in the gym or the time preparing the meals to look like a wrestler.
Lincoln Steen has been somebody that I've been trying to talk to for years now about getting in shape, and he just doesn't seem to listen. But he was in the gym with me this particular day when we happened to run into Bruce Sweeney, which was a godsend. Bruce Sweeney is very respected in the fitness and nutrition world. He runs a very successful franchise, Simply for Life, and they've been very helpful to us.
I honestly thought I was in better shape than what I was. I dropped 20 pounds before this tour started. I was feeling really good about myself. Well, this morning we headed to the gym, had a little bit of a training session, and Bruce from Simply for Life was at the gym. I introduced himself. Pete said, "This is the guy you want to talk to."
He can make you look the way we want you to look.
Well, we can make you and break you, but the thing is, we wanted you to break everybody else on stage.
And Bruce did a pose that in front of the mirror, and he was just intense. One of the best bodies I've ever seen. He was just massive, he was huge. It's I said to the guy, man, that guy could tell me to eat shit. Little human shit would make me look and train as hard as that, and I would probably do it.
Well, I'm going to find out basically what kind of plan we can do for you. I mean, the most important thing is to keep you healthy, obviously. And the biggest challenge, you guys on the road all the time, so you eat in restaurants, or you got to grab and go food, and you guys basically do a little party on the weekends.
Hopefully, through Simply for Life, that Bruce can whip him into shape because it's going to take a miracle, I think.
All right, what I'm going to do today, I'm going to put you on a scale. I'm going to do a weigh-in.
Okay.
I'm going to look at your profile here, and I'll create a format, and we'll customize a meal plan, because that's what we do. Nobody has the same meal plan. I'll personalize a meal plan. What we'll have to do, we'll set up appointments every week, so we'll monitor your progress as we move along. Well, they say you were 211 last night. You gained 6 pounds. So definitely you're feeding yourself good.
Yeah.
But the good thing is last time you're going to see this body weight at this shape. I'm going to change things around. So
Awesome.
welcome aboard.
Right on. Thank you very much.
No problem.
You know, it's kind of funny, you got wild man Gary Williams, who was kind of like the mother hen of the entire wrestling crew. And, you know, Gary is the most caring person that I think I've ever met. I have never met anybody that's ever had a negative word to say about the guy, so that just tells you about his character. And he'll go out of his way to help anybody. And, you know, when I lost my voice, he was the first guy to step to the plate to make sure I got to the clinic to get fixed up. And that's just the type of guy he is on a daily basis.
Last night or this morning that he cut out last night at the bar, we're down at Dooley's, and Rick's whispering. I thought it was a rib, man. I said, what the fuck you doing? But completely lost his voice, man. So we're off to the clinic to fix him up.
Ready to rock, Ricky? Give me some sign language or something.
Luckily, there was a cancellation, so that's why we're heading there right now, so we can slip Rick in there so we can get checked out and see what we can get done.
There could be worse things I could be going to the clinic for.
Gary, come on in and have a seat.
He can't speak, and I mean, that's a huge problem.
Huge deal. This is going to put a little bit of a kibosh on your the next couple of days. You realize that, eh?
I asked her if, you know, there's a possibility that he could be able to speak tomorrow. And she says, well, he might regain his voice to a certain degree, you know, maybe raspy again, but that's fine as long as he can, you know, get his point across and can talk a little bit.
In my opinion, a ring announcer is very important in wrestling. You know, he's the first voice you hear, and he can electrify the crowd. In St. John, the guy that was supposed to come backed out at the last minute, so kind of put us in a bad position, and we had to call in a favor. Greg Hemmings had a friend that came in for the last second.
So Jay, I know he loves being in front of people because he's so talented at it. I said, Jay, how quick did you get here? He said, I'm gonna get on my skateboard and get here as quick as possible.
I took a cab. Because I didn't want to rip my Sunday clothes. I've been friggin' waiting for this moment my whole life. I've been sitting by bubble hockey machines and I've been commentating on a lot of different things. And I've been waiting to do wrestling. And tonight's the night that I'm gonna do it.
Is this your pen? He's got the job. I think he's got the job.
He now dished these sponsors on me that I have to announce. So now I'm kind of feeling more like a trick pony. Pretty soon I think I'm gonna have to put on a bikini and walk around with numbers. I feel pretty good. I mean, there's only about 15 dudes that have muscles from their ankles right through to their ears that could kick my ass if I frig it up. So no, I feel really loose. Oh yeah.
I have prepared cue cards which are really, really hard to screw up.
Are you guys ready for some wrestling reality?
Apparently no one told the ring announcer that there was a promo before the match, and the cue cards he had just said to announce that there was a match happening, and it was Tommy Osborne coming to the ring.
In the ring right now is a ring announcer, Jumpin' Jay McLean. He's gonna get the match underway.
At 210 pounds, Tommy Osborne! Fuck's sakes! Fuck!
How are we gonna fix this, guys, right now?
Here we go. How's everybody doing today?
Well, the referee ran out and told him, so now he's gonna fix it, but it's already killed the heat.
Fuck! He was introducing him! What's he doing?
honestly, the person that made up the cards for him, I think that would be the color commentator, Darren.
Some kids are reacting. They're here to enjoy themselves. They cheer for the person they want to cheer, as they should.
Crowd tonight.
Yeah, it's much better.
Get a younger crowd. Fun, it's easier to work. They're nice and loud. They're not smart marks.
No.
They really react well on some. It's just as simple as an arm drag, and they reacted well. So I think it's gonna be a good night.
Most of the guys will go over their matches before the match, of course, for the show. If you went out there and beat the crap out of your opponent, you know, how is he going to wrestle the next night? I mean, that's just business. That's the entertainment business.
When Peter first decided that I was going to be the one to throw Paulie out of the wheelchair, I wasn't quite sure how it was going to go over. I thought, well, it will get a reaction, but it will get a show reaction. And the reaction I got was definitely not the one I expected. But when I slapped him and then got up and looked, there wasn't that this is a show reaction. There was that how dare you reaction. He enjoyed himself immensely, which I think was a good thing. I don't think if I had heard him, I would have enjoyed it as much, or neither would he, but I think everything worked out pretty good in the end.
That was fucking fun. Sorry, that was fun. That was a blast. Okay, that was a blast.
Wrestling is a very emotional business. We're on the road a lot of the times, so a lot of the times, although we're very close, and there's always like 2 or 3 guys that can express themselves to one another and really help each other through their problems. For example, Gary, Pete, and myself have been like that for near a decade now.
I'm like, all right. You know what just happened in the last 2 nights? The wild man is back. You're right back to your peak, like 2001, 2000, 99. You're right there again. Thank fuck for that.
Best compliment I ever had, brother.
How'd you feel out there?
That's what he said, man. That's great. It's fucking great, man. Compliments like that just don't come every day, man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I got beat in the business, but for him to say stuff like that, I'm sorry, man. It just tears me up, man. I fucking love this business, and I should have fucking brought it 110%, but I didn't. I just fucking did it. It's my own fault. But when I hear shit like that, man, it just fucking, it tears me up inside. I just don't know why I fucking just do it. I fucking envy you, man. You know? You're only 34 years old. I know. You're at your peak right now. All you just needed was to get your motivation back. It's the best thing anybody's ever said to me. Thank you. Thanks, bro. I think this whole project has just got him excited about wrestling again. He got back in shape, and he just, you know, I think he forgot what his passion was the last few years. Now he remembers.
I guess I never realized till the last couple of nights how much I really, really miss wrestling, and I'm just kicking myself in the ass right now for not pursuing it like 100%, you know. And I'm getting to the age now where it's like, you know, do I take a career that I make 60 grand a year and just say fuck it and start wrestling and be broke again? You know what I mean? It fucks with your head, man.
I meant what I said when I talked to Gary about how his passion is back in the business, and I started crying, and it choked me up. It really did. It choked me up. He might be legitimately the nicest guy in professional wrestling. Honestly, the nicest guy.
There's been a lot of letdowns for me in this business, and then after a while I kind of created a wall between myself and the business where I didn't let myself get emotionally excited over anything because I didn't want to face that letdown again. So I think that's basically what brought me to this tour where I actually had that breakdown, is just everything just came rushing back at me, and then I just realized really how much I love this business, and I guess kind of kicked myself in the ass that I just didn't keep going, go through that wall that I created for myself.
Well, it's good, good. Anytime around James Mason, it's a piece of cake.
I think going the last as well, they'd seen a lot, you know. And sometimes in the show they've seen so much, it's hard to go in there and give them. And I think they saw Big Peter, fucking hell, he's a big twat.
When I have a guy like him, he just makes everything so good. His timing is impeccable. He sells like he's supposed to sell.
But no, good. He did exactly what was needed, and playtime now.
I like to party. I've been known to have the occasional libation from time to time. I usually drink far too much, but that's just kind of what I do, and I have a lot of fun doing it. It's one of my favorite aspects of wrestling, to be honest with you.
You're the wild laughing.
Party scene in wrestling, it's pretty crazy. I mean, I've probably seen almost every drug known to man in my years of wrestling.
Shh. You gotta work on that voice, remember?
I'm starting to sound like you, for fuck's sake. Fuck off before I can't be you. I'm not able to do my promos tomorrow.
The boys like to have a drink after the show. They like to do their drug of choice, whatever the case may be. I'm not saying everybody does, but a good majority of us do.
What is up, Rick?
The parties afterward and the drinking and my phone ringing in my hotel room at 3:30 this morning. Cowboy actually went down the list. He demanded from the poor guy at the front desk. Can you imagine Cowboy? It's a giant, and he told the guy, I want the number of every wrestler, and the guy said no, and Cowboy, and anyway, he got the list very quickly.
Well, I'm a bit of a party guy anyway, so, you know, if I'm away from my family and able to sit down and relax with the boys, and we just act like a bunch of kids, and you know, the parties get pretty crazy sometimes. Everybody's gonna lose respect for me.
Look at you! I'm disgusted. You know what? You sicken me.